I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another day of the Norwich City career mode. A lot of games today. No live gameplay again because I'm just trying to get through it as quickly as possible. Not the season or the save or anything, but just this section, if you will. I'm trying to get to the January window, and I will be there by tomorrow's episode. So in tomorrow's episode, you'll probably see the first day of January, and we can start maybe putting some players up on the transfer list, trying to free up some cash, going into the market, taking your guys' suggestions on board from the comments, and trying to sign some people. Some of the suggestions of people, like some people have been saying some, like players like Callum Wilson and King and things like that. And whereas I do take them on board, a few of the players who have been suggested already have actually moved clubs. So we'll look into it. Might do some sort of live episode at one point doing transfers. Cyprian had his free kick saved by Leno, and that is the difference between playing a lower or mid-table team and playing a team who are, I would say, seemingly going for top four. They are, but they're not. But this is the difference between playing against a good goalkeeper and a mediocre goalkeeper. They save those type of things, whereas Everton's goalkeeper does not, and various other goalkeepers don't either. So, yeah, we just have to take the rough with the smooth, unfortunately. And despite the fact that we had our fair share of chances, mainly from set pieces in this game, we were undone by a pretty decent volley by Saka, and in my opinion a goal that was against the run of play. But such is life, and the way that this save goes, we lose 1-0 to Arsenal at home in a game where we really should have taken a point. I mean, we could have arguably taken all three, but I was I was a little bit distraught there, and it doesn't get much better. In my opinion, fairly weakened Southampton team up against a relatively unchanged Norwich City. We do bring Hernandez in there instead of Barco, but for the most part we are unchanged. And then we have a couple of opportunities. We do manage to break through the back line a little bit, and I can see a lot of people saying that the formation that I use works online. Of course it does. Why don't we try using a different formation against the AI? And I've been taking that into consideration, and something that we definitely do look at in this episode. So don't worry about it. You can stop the comments now. And there's some guy's been in the comments. I forget his name. He's been saying it basically since day one. The formation isn't right. Stop using the formation. And, we do go out and we win a couple of games, but then we do end up losing games like this. And again, it was a case of I can't generate enough momentum. Couldn't break down. Couldn't get the bodies forward. And this is the game where I really started to notice that the formation wasn't really for me. Doing things like drag backs and heel-to-heel flicks work only so much against the AI, because the AI are relatively static in defense. And you'll notice that when you play online and your opponent puts the controller down, it is unbelievably difficult to score against them. And you feel like an absolute idiot because for whatever reason, you can't score against someone who isn't even controlling his players. And why is that? Because the defense is so static and they don't really react to a thing you do. Well, that is career mode in a nutshell. Barco back in the starting lineup. That is the Sheffield United team. It's basically the same as it always has been, except Moore is in goal, not Henderson. So that was my I guess my glimmer of hope for this game, really, that we could go in and the goalkeeper isn't going to be as good as the goalkeeper should be, realistically. We failed to get the ball out of defence, and that's an absolute banging goal, and we are set for a third defeat on the bounce. And this was, I mean, we're still, in my opinion, we're going to be safe this season. I mean, obviously, if we continue and we start losing every game, then yeah, we're going to start to really accumulate some trouble. But accumulate trouble? That's not really a thing, is it? I don't know. English isn't my first language. Leave me alone. So with that being said, I started to pressure a little bit more, and we changed the formation to a 4-1-2-1-2 in the second half. I thought, let's have two strikers on the go. Barco and Timo Pukki up front. And I tell you what, it worked so much better than it does the 4-2-3-1 against the AI, because you've got that sort of triangle up top with the 4-1-2-2 with the 2 strikers and the cam. You're allowed then the freedom of movement to be able to pass between all 3 players. You can pass around defenders. You can have central midfield players arriving late into the penalty area. And as you can see, it's attack, attack, attack. Why? Because we're not giving up the ball. And when we are, it's for a shot that is saved by the goalkeeper, who, by the way, should have been given an inform for that performance because he kept them in the game single-handedly. We should have won that 3 or 4-1 in the second half. We were all over them and absolutely trounced them. We did some training, and I've been doing this between every game anyway, but I'll show you every now and again just to, let you know that I'm actually still doing it. We'll go over the new formation in the next episode and who plays where and what have you, because at the moment all it is a game plan. So you'll see that Leicester are playing in that sort of 4-3-3 with a Holding and Diddy, and then we still line up 4-2-3-1, but I do switch into a 4-1-2-2 straight from kickoff. And it's not something that I necessarily need to do. We can probably set up in a 4-1-2-2 the way that we are right from the beginning. Leicester hit the post very early on. And again, another mistake from me. I dink it back. It goes straight to Jose Perez. And he nods it down. In 7 minutes, we are 1-0 down. And again, that's my fault. The Everton one that happened in yesterday's episode, that is... the day before... Was it the day before or was it yesterday? Either way, the Leicester, the Everton one, was not my fault. That was the game. That one was my fault. Tielemans then scores a banger. And now all of a sudden we're 2-0 down inside of, 15 minutes? And we are now playing catch-up. Pookie has an opportunity, saved by one of the best goalkeepers in the league. We play out from the back again. Jamal Lewis up to Buendia. And all of a sudden now the break is on because we have those bodies forward. We have the cam here, Cantwell. We have the other striker in Barco who does really well. He's got a little bit of pace, gets a little bit of luck there, gets in and shoots and scores. And we have played a minute over the allotted stoppage time, but we needed it. And that's the bit of luck that you need now and again. And we managed to make it 2-1. All of a sudden into the second half and there's a glimmer of hope. Barco goes through on goal again. Goes near post. I had the opportunity to go near post with him. Decided to try and finesse it. Goes wide of the mark, maybe should have gone near post. Defended out from the back, doesn't quite come out. Soyuncu nods it back down to Ndidi, plays it in, and a great save from Tim Krul down to his left. He is livid with the defence, he can't quite believe it. Ball played forward to Cyprian, who is, by the way, arguably the best player in this team. Barco into Pookie, comes back to Barco, a little bit more luck, and a great finish from Barco. He has proved probably to be, the best attacking player that we have. He is my outlet right now. I am relying on him more than anyone else to score goals. Cyprian's set pieces and Barco's speed more than anything else. Those are the two things that we rely on. There's Pookie round the outside, drags it back in for Duda off the bench, on loan from Hertha, of course. We found that out yesterday, and he scores to make it 3-2. And we claw it back from being 2-0 down to beat Leicester again, because we beat them in the Cup not 2 weeks ago. And there we are, 3 points away from home. I am so happy with that result. So happy. Keeps us in 10th. We are now 1 point below Arsenal. Of course, had we beaten Arsenal or got a point against them, things would have looked maybe a little bit different. But, yeah, we are where we are. I'm happy enough to be in 10th. And I'm kind of hoping that with a change of formation now, and we'll go through that in the next episode, who plays where and what have you, and the instructions and things, because I've not really done that, because the instructions for the 4-2-3-1, basically the same as they are in any Ultimate Team video that I do, so that's why I've not given you an update. But I will go through the 4-1-2-2 and the instructions in the next episode. I'm happy where we are. Timo Pukki is not as much of a hindrance to me now, because he's not up front by himself. Having pace next to him is actually bringing out the best in him. So we'll see how we go for the next few games, and then we'll decide what to do in January. But that's going to do it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed today's video, do me a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.